All right, all right, all right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me know if you can hear me in the chat. Let me know if you can hear me. Use the chat and let me know if you can hear me. Hello, Bismarck. Can you hear me? I hope so. Can you guys hear me? Yes, yes. Am I audible? Can you hear me? Drop in the chat. Okay, loud and clear. Great, great, great. All right, thank you. Yeah. So, were you hearing the music? Let me confirm that as well. Were you hearing the music? If I start playing it, do you hear the music when I play it? Just trying to confirm something. Kennedy Ojowi, welcome. All right, all right. So, I assume that everything is set up great so far, and I'm super, super excited for today. How are you all doing? How are you doing? I hope you enjoyed last week's session. Hello, Kennedy. Yeah. So last week we talked about a lot of things. We introduced ourselves to some important terminologies and concepts in artificial intelligence or AI. And today we are going to delve more into some of the tools. In fact, yesterday when I sat down to prepare for today's session, there are so many tools. I don't even know what to come and talk about and what not to talk about because there are so many of them. So, as the spirits lead it today, we're going to go through some of the ones that I personally use and I found very useful. So, you want to grab your pen and your notebook and get ready to write and take notes. All right. Who is excited to be here? Let's see who is excited to be here. So I intentionally played the song for a reason. Let me go there again and play it once more. Okay. All right. So let me try minimizing. We can hear the music loud and clear. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So I said that I played this song for a reason. And the reason is as simple as this is AI generated. And the reason this is important now is since I started creating content on YouTube, and this was somewhere from 2019, I think. My first YouTube video was like in 2019. Hello, Irene. Welcome to the stream. And in 2019, or since then, it's always challenging to get copyright free music to use on videos. Like almost every music you're going to use out there has some form of copyright on it, and you needed to pay huge sums of money to in order to get either a beat or music, any form of audio that you wanted to add to your video. So knowing where we have come from and how far we have come is always a good thing to reflect on. So today I get to be able to generate music, even though I have no knowledge of music. Like if you gave me even drums to play, I do not know how to play them. So it's just amazing where the tools are right now and what we can do with them. And there is a tool for almost every industry, or you can apply the tools to almost anything at all that you're doing. And that is what makes it exciting, the fact that these are tools that have, or there are a lot of these tools that you can use. In fact, almost anything that's very controversial, but almost anything that humans can do. Now we are getting to a point where the artificial intelligence tools can also enable us to, or help us do it better with them. Okay, so using these as tools to help them to help us do it better. We have people who are turning out to become musicians or who were musicians and are using AI tools to augment them. I don't have any slides to share today, but I'm going to be, maybe let me share my screen. Then I'll be writing on my notepad. I think that would be better. So, all right, Jabril, welcome. Let's share the screen. Okay, so this is my notepad, and we're going to do a lot of writing today. As I said earlier, I was brainstorming about the various tools to teach, which would be very helpful to you all. And I know that there are diverse audience. There are some of you who may be students, there are some of you who are early career professionals. Mostly my audience is within that range. So coming to think about it, I had to say what tools would be most relevant to you. Okay, so let me know in the chat where do you stand right now? Early career professional or a student or hello Gifty, welcome. Where exactly do you stand? Like, are you a student? Are you a career professional, experienced professional? Maybe you've been on the job market for like 10 years, or and if possible, even the industry. That would really help me narrow down on the tools to introduce you to. We're going to take high level, the various categories, and for each category I mentioned, I'll give you some of the tools. And also, please drop it in the chat where you stand right now in terms of your life. Are you still a student? Are you an early career professional, or are you an experienced professional? What I mean by experienced professional is if you've been working for several years, okay? An early career professional is someone who is probably out of school not too long ago. All right. So please drop them in the chat. And if possible, yes, I like this digital health. If possible, mention like the field where you are so that as I see and the spirit leader, I'll be able to reveal all the tools that I know there. All right, great. Teaching assistant. Good. Okay. So high level, some of the categories that I would want us to look at. Um, for now I'm thinking like I'd probably take the individual fields and see if we can mention some tools there that are very relevant. But for now, I'll take the general categories that I think everybody needs to know about them. Like irrespective of what you need to know, you need to know about these tools and use them. Okay. So one of such tools I found is in the category of image generation. I want to generate images for whatever reason. So, for instance, teaching assistant, you want to go and do a presentation. You need a relevant image to put in the presentation. How do you generate that image? Okay, and there are several tools out there. So let's get straight into it. Image generation. And if you have any question, feel free to drop it in the chat, and I will pick it up as well. The image generation, personally, the tools that I've been using, there are two main tools that I use to generate my images. So those of you who follow the content that I post on LinkedIn, for instance, when I create content and I don't have my own picture or any picture that depicts the content or the message that I'm trying to carry across, I'd want to generate an image. And if you go back to my last say for the past 3 months, the posts that I've made, or even more than 3 months, the posts that I've made on LinkedIn, there is not a single one of them that does not come with an image or a media. I don't like to post things without images. And I mean, the reason is obvious. People get attracted to the image that you put on there and they stop to read what you have written. So I like to find the most relevant image that depicts what I'm trying to write or the message I'm trying to carry across. And for that reason, I need a tool that can generate good images. The first tool that I have access to, which I know comes at a cost, is the ChatGPT itself. I mean, you can do most things in ChatGPT. All right. That is one, but it comes at a cost. As I said, I don't know about the free version. I do not think that the free version allows generation of image, but I stand to be corrected because it's been a long while since I used the free version. Like I'm on the ChatGPT Plus, so I use that to generate my images. But the free one that I use to generate my images is called Free Pick. Free Pick. And let's quickly go. Free Pick is actually a website where they have stock images. So they upload images that are either for sale or you can have access to it for free, but give attribution to them. However, recently they have introduced their AI bit. Freepick.com is a site. I love Freepick. Ever since I started creating websites online, I have been a huge fan of Freepik. And one of the things that I really loved about them, they had illustrations. It's been a long while since I used it, called, I think, Stories by Freepik. Let's see. So this is how it's going to go. Like there are a lot of tools that I can't just write down. The more sorry, we are not on Zoom. We are doing the stream on YouTube here. It's only the last session, which is on 26th, that will be on Zoom. So yeah, welcome to YouTube Live. Yes, okay, it's called Story Set. I used to use this a lot when I started creating website, where you'd find a lot of illustrations, and sometimes you can even edit these things, but these are not necessarily AI. I'm just showing you that this is something I used to do, I used to use. Okay, so now when you come to Free Pick, they have introduced a lot of AI related stuff. So generate image, you can click it, generate video, create voice over, chat with AI, and several other tools. And if you are on the free plan, which I am, you can get a certain number of creations per day. So if any of you have been following my content on LinkedIn, you will see that these are the images that I use on LinkedIn for the various posts. And even of recent times, the website that I create, these are images. These are where I generate the images for it. So these are all images that I have generated that are in my library, as you can see. And I did all of this for free. So that's where you want to start from. If nothing at all, I want you to start playing with these ones and trying to get your hands dirty by understanding this. And these are just prompts that you need to learn and revise and get better at. Okay. So that is one of the tools, FreePick AI. Just go to freepick.com and go to generate image or their AI tools and play with any of the AI tools that are available, and it is available for free. But if you have access to ChatGPT Plus, you can equally use ChatGPT to generate your images. If I was to compare between them, um, hmm, which is better? I don't know, but I like Free Pick for generating images. I'm pretty sure they also use one of the models, like maybe GPT or any of the other models that they use in generating the images. But hey, I love to use this one. It's free. And usually when you prompt it, it gives you 4 different images. Okay. So it gives you per each prompt, it gives you like these 4 options. Then you choose from it. So I really like to go with it so that I have options. ChatGPT will generate it one by one and usually takes time. Maybe we should just try. What kind of image do you want to see? Put it in the chat and let's try that with a simple prompt right now. The first person to submit is what we're going to generate. As I'm waiting for you to submit that, there is also Mid Journey. When image generation started coming up, Mid Journey was the biggest thing, and everybody wanted to. I mean, it's even right now, I think it's far ahead of every other tool for generating images, except that the process of generating the images isn't the easiest way for people who are just getting into the arena. You'd have to join their Discord. So the generation happens on Discord. So you go to Discord and you use a prompt on their Discord channel to generate your images. And that is why, I mean, people who don't have Discord accounts will not appreciate that. I'm waiting for your comment. If you have any idea of images that we should generate, anything at all, just suggest it in the comments and we'll take it up and build that. Let's go to Mid Journey, and you see that people are doing crazy stuff with Mid Journey. Like the images that people are creating, some are mind blowing. So this is Mid Journey. Let me see. Have they brought the ability to create here? Uh, I think it still would be on. Hold on, let me try and join right now. I was okay. Continue with Discord. I am in their Discord account, but it's been a while. Let's see. Oh, nobody wants us to generate an image. Okay. Using V7. Remind me later. Basic plan. Oh, they don't have. Oh, they used to have a free plan, I believe, because I don't remember ever paying for it, but there was some limitations. You can go to their you can check their Discord. If you join their Discord, you'll be able to even see what others have created, and it's amazing what some people have created, especially when you get to learn from their prompts. So you pick their prompts, and there are some amazing photographers that can generate even back in as at last year or 2 years ago. There were some amazing photographers who were generating realistic images, even when it wasn't the best as compared to right now, it wasn't the best. Okay. So if you go there, you'd be able to learn how to generate some of these using their prompt. Okay, so here the prompt is portrait of a young woman smiling softly in ambient window. So let's say use this, copy this, probably no, I can't copy that. No, no, no. Let me see if I can copy the test. Then let's try it with free pick and see what it comes up with. So there are a few settings that you can set here. And that's the more reason why I like when you go to Midjourney and you see the various prompts that people are using, you get to understand all of these. Why do you need to specify these? For now, I just set it to their default, then click on it. Oh, okay. So the number 4 is here, the size, everything. It tells the model how many to generate and what size. So if you needed a different size, you can always change it. Say you needed to create something portrait or for the social media stories like Instagram story or reels and TikTok, all of those things, you can come and generate them here. All right, that is pretty cool. So let's see what outcome we get from this. These are the image generation tools, and trust me, if you figure out how to prompt the AIs to generate images, you can even begin to make side income out of it. Yeah, and some of the photographers out there, the kind of images they are generating, there's no way you would think that it is even generated by AI. Oh, it says image of a pregnant woman holding the hand of a toddler. We could have tried that, but let's wait for this. When it's done, then all right. As it's doing it, let's move on to the next category. If we have learned about image generation, then let's learn about video generation as well. There are a number of tools that you can use to generate videos, and some of which, most of them are not entirely free. You know, these models are really expensive. So the people who build these tools on top of the models try to charge some amount of money for it. For some of them, you get the free trial or there is a free plan. and that free plan is usually not exhaustive, but you can always begin to work from there and get some videos generated. If I was to generate a video right now, and most of these ones are just short videos, very short videos. Say we have the 8 seconds, 10 seconds long videos, but pretty cool videos. One of them is Sora. So Sora is by OpenAI, and the way to access it, I think you go to Sora.com, you can get it, or you can go into ChatGPT itself. I don't know if it is available for the free ChatGPT. Sorry that I didn't do that assignment because I haven't. Okay, so Sora.chatgpt.com. I easily use it here in my pro account. Go to ChatGPT and Sora is here. So yeah, you'd see this is some. It's also in. You can use that as well to generate images. So ChatGPT or OpenAI is trying to consolidate the image generation and the video generation into Sora right now. But these are some of the things that people have generated. Let's go to my media. So when you come to my media, these are images that we have generated in this account. And just as I was sharing with you with free pick, this is also similar where you get some of these images right in here. Okay, pretty cool. All you need is to really understand the the prompt or the way to prompt it to get the best of result. And sometimes the way to figure this out is just by looking at what others have done in Explore. And if you like what others have generated in Explore, see this, the prompt is here. Create a photorealistic image of a grumpy raccoon. So you just need to take this particular prompt that a person has used. So you can edit the prompt and revise it to generate whatever character that you're looking for. So if you like the setting, maybe this one is a raccoon, but what if you wanted to put a human there? Then you just edit the prompt that says grumpy raccoon into something that says human, right? Or description of that specific human that you want to put there. So that is the best way to go about it. And Sora is one of the places where you can generate your videos as well. If I wanted to generate video, I'd click on this and click on video, then describe what video I want to generate, the aspect ratio as well. So if you want something for stories, and I showed you earlier in here where I have a similar video showing the Patient First podcast, this over here. Even though it made a mistake in the spelling, but hey, who is taking count of that? This was, I think I used it to create a video somewhere. But yeah, if you wanted to do something that shows for stories, then you get something like that. And pretty much it. You can also change, I think, the number of videos, variations that you should create. So whether you want one video per prompt, or you want two videos per prompt, or four videos, which means that the same prompt is going to generate four variations of it, or two variations, or just one, depending on which one you chose. Okay, so that is Sora. Go back to our free pick. Come on, what's happening? Free pick, why are you trying to disappoint me? I hope I hope it's already created. Okay, so it did, but we needed to refresh it. I usually it doesn't happen that way, so I didn't expect that. Yeah, but these are the images. We said portrait of a young. Okay, so when it tries to create it, the variations, this particular variation is said that portrait of a young Indian woman with long black hair smiling softly in the diffuse ambient light of a window during. So you see, this has added. It is based on the other settings that were there. Okay, these settings. So you could always change the settings, like the style, the composition, the effect, and it tries to give you. Oh no, shouldn't have gone there. Why am I images? So it tries to give you many variations of the same image so that you get to choose the one that you want. Let's see this one. And the actual prompt says portrait of a young African woman with braided black hair smiling softly in the golden ambient light streaming through a window during blah blah blah. So if there is any of them that catches your attention and you really need it, you can copy the prompt and keep the prompt so that subsequently you can use the prompt or similar prompt to generate your images. Okay. Another tool or AI product for generating videos is Veo by Google. And now they have Veo 3, which is doing amazing. The kind of videos that is generating is just amazing. But I think on the free version, you are limited to 8 seconds. And for this, maybe we should just go to YouTube and I'll show you some of the videos that others have created with it. VO2 is also good, but VO2 does not come with sound, just like Sora. So when you created a video in Sora, it has no sound. But if you create it in VO3, let's say VO3 videos. Okay, let me just show you. I'll not play the music. Yeah. So all of these, like this particular one that you are seeing, okay, add gone. Yes. You guys hear that? And this is not humans. This is generated by View 3. And you can imagine that this video is AI. Okay, so that is a pretty solid one. Unfortunately, it's just 8 seconds if you don't have the premium accounts. But if you have the premium accounts, then you can generate more than 8 seconds. There are other tools as well. Some one particular tool that I use for generating content, and this has been around for a while. I remember back in 2020, 2021, when I was running my health blog, I used to use that tool called Lumen 5. I remember Lumen 5 to generate videos of the blog posts that we write. Okay, so if you go to Lumen 5, let me see if they still have my account. Lumen 5. Oh, they also made video. Oh, forgotten that I'm talking about Lumen 5, which is a video creator. All right. So Lumen 5 is also a very powerful one, usually for text to speech. And what happens is it allows you to generate AI voice overs. It also takes, oh, I thought I already had an account. Uh, Unfortunately, I don't even remember these details. Come on. Oh, yeah. That's why I usually prefer to log in with, hold on, to coming. Great. All right. Yeah. So as you can see, these are videos that I've generated in the past. And this is just taking some text and converting it to video. Okay, let's try this. Let me see what I created over here for Nguani. Remove voiceover. Oh, that was the old voiceover. I guess now they have better ones. Uh, okay, AppScillNet intro video. So essentially, over here they use a combination of stock images that are already existing, and you can edit it. You can change the image. You can change the text on it. Pretty cool. Let's try the preview. Okay. Yes. So pretty easy. You can go in and edit everything slide by slide. It's like making a PowerPoint presentation with AI voice over. And you can also record your own voice over each slide if you wanted to. And you can change the images if you don't like it, or the videos. So they are stock videos as well. So we have this media. If you don't like any of them, you can just change it, edit it, change the style. Totally up to you. And I loved using this when I was creating my blog posts and creating videos for the blog posts. I think even on my YouTube channel, if you go probably to 2019 or 2020, I remember, I don't know if I made it public, but I remember I created a video on a blog post that I wrote about your perspective about life is why you're living it's the way you are living it. And I use Lumen 5 to create that. Okay, there are several other tools, but what I've also come to learn is usually people tend to have analysis paralysis when they have several tools at their disposal, not knowing which one I should work with. So I'll keep them down to the ones that I personally use and like, so that you can also begin to play with those ones. The next category we'll talk about research. And those of you who are still students or doing anything relating to research, for now, I don't even think of this as academic research per se, but hey, when you come to the research component, usually when you are doing a research, let's say I'm a student, I've been given an assignment. If I've been asked to do a research, what I'm going to do is to go to Google, right? And go and search for information. What you might not have thought about is the fact that there was a point in time when students were banned from using Google. For some of us, it sounds weird to hear that at a point in time, Google was actually banned. Students were banned from using Google in doing any assignment whatsoever. But now it is the standard place for us to go and search for any information. When they give you assignment, they say if you don't understand, go and Google it and figure it out. It is the same thing that is happening right now, that people frown on using AI tools to assist you in your research. But a time is going to come where it will become the norm when you are given an assignment or you have to do any form of research. And mind you, when I say research, it's not limited to academic research. It could be in your business. I personally like to use this when I'm thinking about any business idea and I want to understand the landscape or research competitors out there. I would use this approach. And trust me, a time is coming where it would become the gold standard. Everybody would go that route. So let's look into some of the tools. Deep research, and now a lot of product has deep research in there. The one that I personally love, initially I was using that for ChatGPT. So I think it is available in a free version, I believe so. ChatGPT has what they call the deep research. So I have the Plus account here, and when you go to tools, you can choose run deep research here, and there is a limit on how many times you can run this, but that's the job. However, I have found that that of Gemini has become my favorite for research. The reason this is so is because if I use ChatGPT's own, maybe it's been a couple of weeks since I last used it. So I don't know if anything has changed, starting to be corrected. But in the past, when I tried it, it doesn't like the citation or bibliography that it would add at the bottom, like you don't get it when you export it. Like the way I want the citation is not how it's going to present it, especially if it is for academic purposes. You'd want to have the citation in there when you export it so that you can easily do your editing and still have that citation in there. Another thing is that most of the time, okay, maybe not for deep research, but there are times that it generates these references that are fake. So you have to be extremely cautious. And I think it happens even with Gemini as well. So you have to be extremely cautious if you use this to research anything, especially if it is a report or work that you are submitting to an authority or anyone above you or anyone that has, I mean, for work purposes, if it is your own personal information you are looking for, then you do not need those references. But if you are submitting it somewhere, please double check every reference that you generate from it. So I like to use Gemini. Let me pull up this account. Wait. Okay, let's just go here. Gemini, the google.com. If you have a Google account, you can equally create a Gemini account. Wait, does it not have? Sometimes because I use a okay, it's here. This is the free one. I use a pro as well. So the free one equally has deep research. So if you wanted to do deep research, what you would do is select this as deep research and yep, try now. Okay, but that's not what I was looking for anyway. Let's say refresh it. You just select the deep research and you use that. One thing that I found to be very effective is if I wanted to do deep research, I would come here and use the regular chatbot here and ask it for a prompt. So I'll tell it this is what I want to do. Now help me generate a prompt for deep research to do this research for me. And usually it's amazing what you get when you use the AI to generate your prompts. Okay, so that is one strategy that has helped me personally, and I know that it will help you as well. And you can see this is even my free account. If I open my pro account, you can see a lot of things that I have done in there. Pharmacy scribing solution. This is probably me doing research. Uh, Interesting. Yeah. So I like to use these to explore things. And now that we are in here, this is amazing. Let's stick to this. We are in here, even though I'm talking about deep research as the feature for research purposes. But one of the tools that I've come to love so much is GEMS in Gemini. And I know that a lot of people do not or are not even aware of this and what they can do. So GEMS, the equivalent of GEMS for the OpenAI part would be the custom GPT. So in OpenAI, you are allowed to create your own GPT. So you can see that I personally have a few GPTs that I created, and it's more like you creating, like leveraging their model, but making it specific. So if I am, say, I think it was Irene that said the teaching assistant, yeah. All right. So if I am a teaching assistant and there is something that I do regularly, I personally am a curriculum lead. So my work involves creating curriculum and refining it. That's why I created this my custom GPT curriculum crafter, where I've given it the information, like things it needs to know about me and the kind of work I do, the way I craft my content and things like that, so that anytime I needed to generate anything, I'll come to this custom GPT and use it to create. If you are worried about what to do or how to generate it or make it work the best, you can always leverage the AI to do that for you. So, for instance, let me show the equivalent, as I was saying, what is the gems. So I'll show you what the gems can do. And yeah, if you come to create your own GPT, come here, click create. Then this is what you need to provide. So you need to provide it with the configure. So the name, the description, the instructions, conversation status, so examples. So if you don't know what to put in there, just ask ChatGPT. The best you can do, screenshot this and give it to ChatGPT and say, hey, I'm trying to create a GPT or a custom GPT for ABCD. So I can see that Arena's put a research assistant to. Yeah. I mean, anything that you do, and Thomas says experienced professional in supply chain operations. Great. So depending on what you do, if there is something that you do routinely and you want the AI to help you with it, you can craft your own custom AI, that is a custom GPT or gen that will do that work for you. I've come to love using gems because it would search the internet and it's free. At least the ones that I've explored is free. What I would do, let's say explore gems, then they have these few ones, but create a new gem. And this one is on my free account. So at least I trust that every one of you has. Once I have this, always, even with a custom GPT, if you have some knowledge base, that means that, let's say, the work that you do, you have some documentation that you need to know, or because you have those documentation, that's why you're able to get the work done. You can always provide those documentation as knowledge for the gem that you create. But the best way to handle this, you take a screenshot of this, go to either Gemini or ChatGPT and say, hey, I'm trying to create a new gem to do ABCD. Can you craft detailed instruction or help me fill out all of this? It would suggest name, instruction, knowledge, whatever you need. And those of you who will be joining the session, the private session on 26th, I'll take you through how we're going to use this to do research when we are building any business and how you get the best out of it. But for now, if you don't know anything about it, you can just take a screenshot of this, give it to ChatGPT and say, I'm trying to create a new gem. Help me with this information. And I mean, you have to specify what your gem will do and just be specific. Okay. So if it is specifically for researching a particular thing, maybe researching startup ideas, then you craft one for just that purpose. You can have as many gems as possible. And when you come to explore gems, you can also see what others have done, like here, learning coach, writing editor, brainstormer, career guide, excuse me, coding partner, and the likes. So as soon as you have created a gem, you can begin to chat with it by asking it questions. I see that is the chatbot that you have. But this chatbot has specific instructions, so you don't always have to tell it. The one thing is, if you are not using any of these, if you're not using a custom gem, you're not using the custom chat GPT, then what you need to do, or custom GPT, then what you need to do all the time is to provide the context in your prompt. So the prompt that you're going to use to chat with it needs to have all the relevant context, and you might have to tell it all the necessary instructions, restrictions, things that it should do, things it shouldn't do, what it should consider, all of that. But when you build these gems or custom GPTs, you put that instruction there so that subsequently when you use it, you don't have to provide those instructions. This is different from memory. Memory is when the tool begins to pick up on some of the things that you have done, or you give it something to remember about you whenever you are chatting with it. But this is pretty cool. And on 26, we'll explore practically how to use gems to help us in doing business or trying to make money online. Those of you who are interested, and I can see John, you are in the call. John, I know you've been in a number of the sessions that I've done in the past. So those of you who are interested in coding, say this time is the best time to be a programmer. People argue about that, but I think that it is indeed the best time to be a programmer because now the programming language that you use is English. So let's see if I want to build websites like or web applications, what can I use? Or even mobile apps. There are a lot of these tools. And on 26th, we'll do a deep dive into some of these and we'll build something from scratch. But for now, let's say websites, builders, let me call them that way. And for website builders, we can talk about the very common ones, but ones that I personally use. We have both the new, and I think both the new is like my favorite so far out of the ones that I will be talking about. There is also Lovable, there is Replit, and let me show you. Maybe let me go to my both accounts so that you know. And I love to show evidence of everything. This is to show you that I'm not just reading on the internet and coming to share with you what others are talking about. Okay. This is something that I'm in the weeds doing every single time. See, on both, you see, these are projects that I have built and a lot of them and some of them you might be seeing coming live soon, but let me show you. Let's click any one of them. This is a platform that, yeah, so this is something that is still ongoing. My younger brother is building his own startup and I needed to help him out, but I'm very, very busy. So the way that I went about it was to use both. And I'll teach that workflow on 26, how to create from here to production and get it live on production so that you have a domain name attached to it and all. So if you are looking forward to something like that and learning how to do it, wait, it's not loading. Oh, you were loading. Okay, so it's not loading. Might take some time to load, but I can equally show you the product, which is still under development. So not to make a fuss about it, but let's see. Admin. Oh no, I made this change and didn't fix it. Okay, cool. But maybe not the best place to wait. All right, so you let me not try even logging in. I just wanted to show you what both built because I've made some modification to it. Now everything is functional. Both is loading, hopefully. Yep, it's loading. So essentially just prompting it to generate what you want. But my workflow, and I've documented this in an ebook that I'll share with those of you who will be joining the 26th session. My in that ebook I talk about the process from the brainstorming part, coming up with an idea and doing the brainstorming and going to build it. Oh, okay. Yeah. So the reason it is happening is that it's connected to GitHub. So all the changes that we are making is directly in there. But that is just one of the projects. There are several other projects. And this it will be launched soon. This product will be launched soon. So it tells you that not really joking about it. This is something that you can make good use of. If you go to Lovable as well, Lovable is also great. I've used it to build a couple of products. And recently, I was testing my workflow that I've documented now. So I used two people who do not have any programming knowledge and guided them to use that workflow to build a product on Lovable. And it was amazing. Like they were so impressed. In less than an hour, they had a working product. Try later. Got it. And let's see. These tools have limitations anyway. Sometimes you have to wait for it to reset. These are some of the products that I've worked on. Let's see. So I have two different lovable accounts. I believe there is one on this one as well. Yeah. Whew. I hope you guys are getting value from the session. So if you wanted to build any tool or like your website, you want to build website for people and make money from it, this is one of the things that you can do. And this here is also a product that I'm working on, and Lovable did an amazing job. Amazing design. I love the layout of this. And yeah, pretty much it depends on how you're prompting it, and there are some nuances in terms of getting it to be functional. So, and I'll show you. I think this is live somewhere. Snap link dot vessel dot app. It's a product that I'm working on. Yes, so this is it. Eventually, I would launch it, but still working on it. Called Photo Gather. And yeah, amazing. So you can see where I'm getting all of these. The thing is that there are a few things that you might need to know to be able to get it right. Okay, especially if you do not have the previous experience with programming and the likes. And that's what I'm trying to do. As I'm going through these things, I'm trying to document it and see how would somebody who has no programming knowledge whatsoever be able to achieve similar results. And that's what we're going to be diving into on 26, actually. All right. So that's one of them. I've mentioned Replit, and there is VO also, vo.dev. In fact, almost every single day, a new one of these comes out. Last 2 days, there was a new one released that I was testing and all. So, but what I need you to do is to start with something simple. Okay. And these three at least: View, Lovable, Both. My personal favorite would be Both, but I've seen that most people who do not have any programming knowledge at all would love to use Lovable. And we'll explain later why that is so. But yeah, if you see, you have 7 uses left. Hey. All right. If you see here in VO, I have a lot of tasks in VO. Like I use VO to do most of my designs, even if I am coding a project and I want very nice design. So you see here, I say redesign main page. So I'll take a screenshot of the design that I want, then bring it to this guy, and it will redesign it for me. Once it redesigns it, I have the code, which is here, and I can leverage this code to build the design that I want. If it is okay the way that it is showing, then I go ahead. And you see, this is beautiful design. And I'll go ahead and implement it. That's how I get great designs. Even if you are not a designer yourself, you still be able to produce such quality web apps or products. Okay, so those are some of the tools, and even in Gemini and Cloud themselves, like I haven't even talked about those ones. Let's quickly jump to those ones. The chatbots. The chatbot. The very common one that you know about is ChatGPT, but Gemini is also pretty solid. Like I don't know why, but of recent times I love to use Gemini to test my ideas. And yesterday, for instance, I'm thinking about building something which is going to be a functionality in a startup I'm working on. And I went to Gemini to brainstorm. Let me open that Gemini. This is where I have the Gemini Pro account. So I tend to do a lot of the brainstorming here in Gemini. Okay, so you can see up here, I have a gem that I've created up here. Earlier on, I showed you what a gem is and how to create it. Okay, then all of these things yesterday, yes, this particular idea. It's amazing. Like sometimes you think, I just gave it a prompt. I want to build a simple product that allows you to provide details or context and a form. Then we'll use Gemini to fill out that form for you. Like it's this simple. This is exactly what I put in here. In fact, I was just asking, how can I do something like that? I wanted the knowledge. That is what I was asking. I wasn't asking it to build. Okay. I was like, yeah, I'm thinking about building this thing. And this is me usually how I'm doing my brainstorming when it comes to problems that I want to solve. Okay. And I just needed to know. Then it went ahead to build this. I tested it out and it works great. It's not the most user friendly because it's using JSON, but as a programmer, once I see this, I know how to make it and put a user interface on it so that users will easily access this. So in the end, what we are doing is in, for instance, the product that my younger brother is building is supposed to help students who are applying for scholarships and schools programs. You are applying for international schools or you are looking for scholarships, things like that, right? So the feature that is going to go in there would be they would have the application form in there. And it's also very similar to what I'm building in my startup right now, where we would also have application forms and you just have to fill in the application forms. But they have already created their profile, they have the details in there. For that reason, it doesn't make sense to let the human manually go in there and fill each form or each field in a form. So what I was thinking about is how can I build this so that we use AI to look inside all the information this person has already provided. So for instance, if in my brother startup, what will happen is if you have an account there and you're applying to say 10 different scholarships, you don't have to fill out the forms one after the other because it already has the information about you. The AI will take that information and fill out all the forms for you. So all you need to come and do is you have your application for school A completed, application for school B completed, then you just copy and submit it or download it. That's the idea. Okay. And I was thinking about how will you make this feasible. So that's what I was brainstorming on. And this guy blew my mind. And interestingly, it's even integrated the Gemini API directly in here. And when you test it, it works amazing. Okay. So that is one of the reasons why I've started to love Gemini. But one of the chatbots that I use so much is Claude. Claude is my favorite when it comes to brainstorming. Claude is one, two. I'd say it doesn't. Like if these were humans, if the three of them were humans, ChatGPT, Gemini, and Claude, I'd say Claude is the guy that would really think deep before it answers your questions. And when it answers your question, it sort of gives you realistic content or more close to human responses. Okay, even if it is content creation, I love Claude over all of the rest. I use ChatGPT, Gemini mostly for my research, but Claude I use it to do a lot of my brainstorming. And I think I have multiple Claude accounts, but I use a free version. I don't have any paid Claude accounts yet. I think I should get it, and but for now, I use the free version. Let's jump in there. Oh, Gemini, there's one more thing I should have spoken about. These things are things that we do every single day. So they're not, I couldn't, that's why I couldn't prepare a PowerPoint for this. I'm just going as a spirit leader. So back at it will be here. I've not really had much chat with it, but you can see. So here I'm doing some brainstorming, simple micro SaaS ideas for passive income. And one of the things that we'll be highlighting in on 26 would be this. Okay, so I usually come here to do my brainstorming, and I love Claude. The other thing is that just as you saw in Gemini when I showed you, where you have this canvas that shows you a preview of what you've built. Claude is also able to do that. It's now, I think it's now called Claude Artifact. Let's see. Oh, it should show, yeah, Artifacts. Claude Artifact. So you get to see what people are doing. And now that I say this, there's something that I need to show you guys. One of the two. Uh, so here you get to see what others are doing with Claude. Okay, learn something, life hack, and you can play with it, learn what was the prompt that they used to generate that. So here is the prompt they use. This is using flashcards for learning. Okay, you paste your text, describe the topic, it generates flashcards. And all of this, the prompt is here for you to learn how to build this. I will say I have a question after class. I hear you. If you can ask it, you can go ahead and ask it. But if not, then that's also fine. Uh Abdurazak says, how do I join the premium class? Yeah, so we would send out the form for registration. Still haven't gotten the time. This week was very, very busy. Haven't gotten much sleep, so I haven't gotten the time to set it up. But it will come your way soon. Especially those of you who have purchased training sessions from me before. I am thinking about giving a huge discount. I mean, the goal for me is not necessarily the money. The goal for me is for you to start learning these things. Like, I need to get as many people as possible to start learning these things. One of the biggest challenges I have found is that when, like, the way I'm familiar with these things, it becomes easy for me to think that everybody else is also familiar with them. Like, everybody knows it. So sometimes it's very challenging to even know what to come and teach and what not to teach, because it doesn't make sense to teach what people already know. So I'm curious, like, what I'm doing right now is just doubling down on my own experience and sharing with you my experiences. Even if you know the tools, the way I use it might be different from how you use it. And that's what I'm doubling down on it. Otherwise, I would still not have come to teach because I feel, oh, these are two basic tools. Everybody knows them, right? But it turns out that a huge percentage of people in the world right now do not even know about artificial intelligence. Like, they have no idea. And those who have an idea is vague idea that they have. They are headline readers, we call them. Like, they've heard the headlines. Oh, there is something called artificial intelligence. There is AI. AI. But to really dig deep and be doing these things with AI, they don't know that. Yeah. The one thing that I forgot to mention earlier with Gemini is Gemini can connect to your Google suite of tools. So Gmail, Google Docs. So now my Gemini is connected to it. And Gemini as well, you can use the View 3 to generate videos here. So here you can use this to generate videos right within Gemini. Okay, it used to be VO3 used to be on its own, or you have to use the Google One account, or you have to go to Flow. Google has a product called Flow. That's where you get it. But now they have also incorporated it into the product, Gemini itself. And as I was saying, the limit is 8 seconds. So you can generate 8 seconds and it comes with sound. And even this, if you want the best of results, use either Gemini or ChatGPT and tell it to generate a prompt for you. And we'll take a look at that later. Next week's session, next Saturday session, we're going to delve into some of, I mean, using some side hustles and using these tools in those fields. So yeah, now let me just quickly skim through the other tools. So take your notes. I know we have exhausted the time, so take your notes and start writing. There is a tool that I wanted to show you guys. It's called UWave. I think so. You wave. I love that too. Unfortunately, you can't download the thing when you build it. Is it called U wave? Oh, forgotten the name. I think it's or your wave. Which is which? Is it your wave or you wave? Yeah, it's called your wave. Oh, wait. Is that it? No? No, 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 that's not it. Okay. I know the Instagram for vibe coders. It's called you wear. You wear. Okay. It's called you wear. I love this too. Let me show you my account. There are times that there are things that I'm thinking about building. You were There are things that I'm thinking about building and I want to test if it will work. I come here and I test it here and it works. Like sometimes even the other tools are struggling. But the caveat is that you can't download what you do here. It's more like Instagram. And those of you who are on Instagram and know, maybe eventually this will get somewhere, we'll be able to replace Instagram. You get money when people see your product. So like the more people that view your product that you have built, the more money you can make. So this is one place that you may want to start playing around and building stuff. Okay, very very important. I think they pay per every 100 views or something, and if you want, you can start building things and sharing it with people. I haven't gotten any money from here, so I'm not saying this because I have made money from it. I know that's their business model. That's why I'm saying that. I needed to bring that disclaimer. Yeah, but I have an account here and I've created stuff with it. I haven't even made my stuff public yet. So when you create anything with it, you can make it public or make it keep it as private. If it is public, then they promise to pay when people view. Okay, and maybe that's a new model going forward, and people will begin to use this. But if you needed any tool, any simple thing that helps you as an individual, you can come here and build it. And let me show you some of the products that I have. Where will I see mine? Shouldn't there be a way to see my products? Let me see profile. Okay, this is published. This is draft. Yeah, yeah. So this started off from here. I had an idea. I think it's called photo frame. Yeah, photo frame. And I've built this and it's now available publicly where you can generate the Instagram frame for anything. You upload your image and you generate. So I can change the photo here and take something else. Say I took this screenshot and I want to put it in an Instagram frame and I can change my what is it the test. So the username is say Hornia Obed. Okay, and whatever caption can go here. Say my caption here. As if you created an Instagram post, something like that. Okay, with the image, and you get to download this and use it anywhere you want to use it, post it. But this, the idea that I built here, I actually started off here. And it's amazing what you get when you use this product. I love the product. Like, unfortunately, once I have created it here, there was no way for me to download it. So I had to use the idea that I've gotten and the prompts that I use to go to both the new to use it to generate what I have over there. Okay, so this is a very cool one. Maybe I should publish it. I haven't published things. Okay, and now you can share the URL for people to see. And the more people see it or the more people view it or use it, the more money you get to make. Okay, let's refresh this. Yeah, this as well was pretty cool. Oh, I have 17 eyeballs on this already. That's cool. So I guess I would also start playing with it to see. But here it's I built a platform for signing PDFs. You upload your PDF and it allows you to sign it. Unfortunately, as I said, when you use this product, you can't download it, but at least you can make it public, share your link around. People will use it, people will see it, and hopefully, when you have enough eyeballs on your product, you can make some money from it. Okay, Irene says, what are the processes one must pass his or her write ups or works through so that no one detects his AI? Anyway, I'll find some time to talk about it. Let's probably do that next week because I have different thoughts around it. But let's do that next week. There are other coding agents. Those of you who are interested in coding by now, you should know. I and as I said, I'm becoming a huge fan of Gemini. There are coding agents, but for let's say even the test editors, we have Cursor for coding. I use Cursor right now. Like I used to be a VS Code guy, but now Cursor on all my devices is Cursor that I use. There's also WinServe. Interesting story about WinServe that came out, I think yesterday or this morning. But yeah, WinServe is also there. But now I use the coding agents, which are amazing. Cursor has a web agent. If you don't know much about coding, no. So those of you who would get into that 26th session, I would explain how to use it. But Cursor has a web agent now, and I'm beginning to love that web agent. On the CLI, command line interface, on the command line, we I use Gemini. Gemini has a CLI. So Gemini CLI, Cloud Code is amazing. Cloud Code is a CLI that you want, except that it comes at a cost. So I've tried it in the past, but I haven't been using it because I get most of the things done with Gemini, or there's also a free one that I use called Rovo Dev by Atlassian. So these are all CLI tools that I use and I love them. Let me show you quickly Cursor Web. Cursor.com, yeah, slash agent. And you see, so these are things that I've done. This gets connected to GitHub. It gets connected to GitHub. So you can choose any of your GitHub projects or repository and prompt it. Once you prompt it, it will be here and build a feature for you. Or if it is fixing something or anything that you tell it to do, it will do it. And once it is done, it will make a PR on GitHub. Those are for those of you who are technical. This is a tool that you want to begin to explore. Okay, now let's just let's just speed up in just naming the tools. Oh, why? Without explaining every single thing because I'm running out of breath right now. Okay, for presentations, to design presentations, those of you who are in academia or startups, you need to be doing presentations. There is a tool called Gamma, an amazing tool. I discovered it not too long ago, maybe 2 or 3 months ago, but it's amazing. Gamma.app, that is it. Gamma.app. Create an account there. You can start with a free if you want. You can create a paid account. But yeah, if you want to create, say, a pitch deck, and this is an example that I'm about to show you, a pitch deck, you can easily create a pitch deck and it would search the internet for information about what you're building, what the product is, and generate the pitch deck with all the relevant information, including images and data, everything in there. And it's just amazing. Okay. So try that out. Gamma.app. Now, Google also and even Microsoft, they have their own AI embedded in their services. So you can try that. I haven't used them much. And I use Canva a lot as well. Canva is amazing. And let's quickly go to canva.com. So Canva now has Canva AI. So instead of searching manually doing it, you can prompt whatever you want here and it will create the image for you. Or you use the audio to tell it what you want and it will generate for you. So this is also very, very amazing. And most times I use this to generate my PowerPoint. Last week, so you see, for digital school, this is what I used to generate it. Last week, okay, yeah, this is my presentation from last week, and I did it with Canva. Okay, even the image that I used. And one of the cool things to note is if you want help with laying out your presentation, it has what you call layout. You come to layout and it will use AI to generate sample layouts based on the content here. So you can change how it looks like if you prefer any one of these that it is offering. You just switch to it. And when you go to any page at all on layout, it will change, it will give you various layouts. So it simplifies the process of styling your presentation. Okay, so that is Canva AI. Oh my goodness, I'm feeling so tired. All right, voice generation, very important nowadays. Voice generation and some of the business stuff that you're going to be doing might require you to generate some voice. You have text to voice. One of the very popular ones is known as 11 Labs. 11 Labs. And I know these are plenty tools. That's even, I mean, I'm not giving you an exhaustive list of tools, but even that, these are still plenty. Okay. But what I want you to do, and maybe we'll do some form of a challenge where you can decide that every week you're going to try out a tool. And I know that in the next couple of months and to years, there are going to be new tools coming up every now and then. So hopefully, I'm still not too sure, but maybe we'll put together a community where we challenge one another to do these tools or use these tools and share your experiences and things like that. And that's the reason why I built Toolload.me so that you can track your collection of tools. There are so many tools. It's difficult for you to keep up with them. But if you have a Toolo account, you can always create your own collection. And in your collection, you can put your own set of tools that you have in there. You can equally see tools that other people are using. And see, I didn't even mention Juice and Coders, they are all CLI coding agents. They are all coding agents. These are cloud-based coding agents and a host of things. Okay. So sign up there. Maybe we'll create a community for Tulo, say a WhatsApp group or a Telegram group for Tulo, so that you can share the tools that you're using and also learn from what other people are doing. But yeah, I'll do that when I get time. So 11 Labs for generating AI voice overs. And very sound realistic. Okay. And you can even clone your own voice. I've tested it out. You can clone your own voice and it's amazing. So try them out. There is also music generation, and that brings me to why I started playing this music when we started the stream. So this was generated in with an AI called Suno. Suno can now help you generate AI. You can become a musician. Suno AI. Okay, so let's go to Suno. All right. Suno allows you to generate AI. You can equally learn from what people have done. All right, so that was all generated by AI. I've played a number of them and tested it out. I love it. Like, trust me. This is the link. I hope you guys are dancing. So even the lyrics, he wrote the lyrics for me. And here it says, "Wake up, early crack of dawn, laptop open, world of fun, debug dreams and endless schemes, building features with machines, lines of logic." Anyway, like it's amazing. I enjoy this. Sometimes, as I said from the beginning, when creating YouTube videos, looking for music to put in that you do not have to pay for is challenging. So having a tool like Suno enables you to create these things. And some of them are just like I've done a couple of them, but you can also see library of what others are creating. Okay, explore. Let's go to explore. What others are creating, and you see it's amazing what people are creating. And people are building their own brand out there as AI musicians. Okay, and in future, it's going to be acceptable to create these things with AI. The most important thing will be the one who can create the best. Like, and these are all new tools. I keep emphasizing that point. Like, these are new tools. People don't have 10 years experience using these tools. Everybody is starting from ground zero right now. In 3 years' time, in 4 years, in 5 years, people will have 5 years experience. They will be ahead of the game. You want to be amongst those people. In 5 years' time, you want to be among the people who have been creating music with AI. If you have interest in music, for instance, or creating songs, who have done this for the past 5 years, and you've become so good that you now compete with everyone else who is at the top. That is my goal, to expose you to it now so that you begin to use these tools and be amongst the best. Okay, so if you have any sort of interest, start looking at the creators who are creating and having huge followings here. I don't have, I mean, I don't know any music thing, so I've not decided to do it. When I come here, I'm only creating music that I would use for my own videos. All right, and you can equally even remix what other people have created. So try it out. Another AI tool for audio generation. I've forgotten the name. I think I wrote it down somewhere. Yeah, Udio. It's called Udio. That as well for music generation. So you can try that as well. And that one, it allows you to bring your own lyrics. So if you are good at coming up with lyrics, then this would be a great platform for you so that you can create your own music. If you don't have a lyrics, if you don't have lyrics, it would provide you with the lyrics as well. So that is also one amazing tool to use. Let's go. I'm very tired right now. Okay, so before we end the stream, I want to end with this. I mean, there are a host of other tools that I haven't been able to talk about, but we're against time. So one of the things that I want to leave you with is directories where you can find these AI tools. Okay, where does Ahonia Obed find these tools so that he uses? Like, I'm on top of almost all of these. Any of the AI tools that is released that interests me, I'd find it and use it. Okay, so one of such directories which I love so much, and usually you see how people are addicted to TikTok and Instagram because you get interested every scroll, there is something interesting there. This is a directory where I spend hours and I don't even see where the time went. It is called, there is an AI tool for that. the I think that's how it's called. It's very funny. But yeah, let's confirm. There is an AI for that. Yeah, that's the name. There is an AI for that. Anything you think about, there is an AI for that. And that directory is amazing. There is an AI for that. As soon as the tool is released, you find it here. Okay, so these are some of the latest ones. Some are free, some are paid, but at least you get to see various AI tools. And when I begin to explore these tools, oh my goodness, like, hey, I never want to leave this place. I click within this, check it, then click the next one, check it, and all of that. But hey, let me leave you with this particular one. There is an AI for that. You can find a host of tools, see when they were released, the date, the time, sorry, filter according to the dates they were released, and check all of that out. All right, let me pause here and pick questions if you have any questions. And let me zoom into this. If you want to take a screenshot, feel free to take a screenshot. At least we've covered majority of the things. I didn't talk about Grok. Grok 4 that was released recently is amazing. I mean, I watched the live stream for its release and the kind of things that it did, the mathematical calculations that it did. So for those of you who are studying complex mathematics and wondering how to get a tutor to help you, something like Grok 4 is amazing. And there are a host of other tools that we can talk about, but time will not permit us. And next week we will take a few of these tools and apply them to some side hustles. Like if it comes to content creation, what are some of the tools? Especially automation. I didn't talk about automation. There's a tool. Let me mention it at least. I like to use it for my research. It's called Manus. I wonder why I didn't mention Manus when I was talking about research. So I like to use Manus to do a lot of digging. It will go around and search the internet, scout the internet for things. See, last night before I slept, this is what I gave it a tax, and I've exhausted my credit, so I have to wait until it is renewed for me to get some. They say if I refer a friend, I get 500 credits. Interesting. All of you on the stream, you are referred. Use my code and let me get the credits. But yeah, Manus is really good at gathering information. So you would see it. It will be going on the internet, searching for information, picking them and summarizing it based on the tasks that you've given it. So it's more like automation. You automate particular tasks. Let's say you've been given something, an assignment or a project that you are doing. You need to gather information and put it in a particular form. Just ask Manus to do it. It will go on the internet, scout the internet for all the information and present to you. But as I said, it has this, if you're using a free version. Yesterday, I nearly subscribed. I was like, I'm not really there yet. Like, I don't want to subscribe yet. So I didn't. And another tool for research, Perplexity. But even when you use Perplexity Labs, let's see, Perplexity Labs. If we want to continue talking about AI tools, we will not leave here. There are so many AI tools out there. Perplexity Lab is one of the tools that I also like for research purposes. It's also agentic. Like it will go onto the internet, search for information, and build the things for you. Like provide you with the feedback that you want. Okay. So you can use this, create a project, and use that. All right. Now I am at my breaking point. So yeah, 1 minute. If you have any questions. Oh, I've left this thing on for this the banner that says that welcome everyone. We are starting soon. Even though we've started. I didn't realize that. Okay. I hope you guys enjoyed the session. I hope you've learned a lot from this. My goal is to introduce you to these tools and how to use them. But next Saturday when we meet, I'm going to dig down deep into just a few of the tools and how I use them. So if some of the basic side hustles, which include digital marketing, content creation, those things. So we'll bring together some of these and see how to make the best use of them. All right. 1 minute is over. No questions. I believe everyone is okay now. And I'll try my best to send the links around, sorry, the registration around for those of you who are interested in the 26th section, and probably also put together, create a WhatsApp group. I know I have so many WhatsApp groups, so usually I don't like to think about creating WhatsApp groups because it's difficult to manage nowadays. But maybe if Telegram group, now I am leaning more towards Telegram groups because of the automations that we can say. Like I can, or did you say man? No, it's Manus. Let me put it here. Sorry, it's called Manus. This. Okay. Let me go full screen so that you can see it well. Yeah, that is Manus. But as I was saying, what was I even saying? Talking about groups. Yeah, I'm leaning more towards Telegram because of automation. Like you can build a bot. So for instance, if I wanted to be sharing say tools weekly or daily, instead of manually doing it, I can build a bot that would probably scout the internet or a particular directory that I've given it, and it would share the tool every single day. WhatsApp automation exists, but it's quite expensive to get through it. So I don't know if I still want to be creating WhatsApp. Can you please spell the last research AI tool? Yeah, so that's what I've mentioned. Manus. Manus is what I used. I showed you. It's manus.im. Okay. For still, you're welcome. All right. So every other thing you would find it in your inbox. Those of you who registered for the event or the session, I have your email, so I would be able to send anything to your inbox. Thank you so much for joining the session, and I'm really grateful you made it here. Unfortunately, I couldn't send out emails earlier. I only did it, I think, this morning or last night. It was even morning already. But yeah, I look forward to making some time in the course of the week to send you some emails. And if I sleep and find it worthy to create a WhatsApp group, I'll create a WhatsApp group and you can all join in there. We'll continue the conversation from there. I'll also provide more information on the 26th session. Thank you so much and see you next Saturday. Bye bye for now. Bye bye.